Hi, I'm Amanda Jones, and this is the fourth video in a series of videos about fractions. And this video is about multiplying fractions. I'm using a virtual manipulative from Mathagon called Polypad so that I can model these fractions and that you can see the visual representation of what the mathematics is doing here. So I've got two problems here. This first one is 1/2 times 1/3. I'm going to model these using the fraction circles. And when you think about multiplication, it is an of problem. And so think about just simply what 2 times 4 is. Okay, 2 times 4 is 2 sets or 2 of 4s. And so you have 2 sets of 4, which is 8. And so that's what multiplication is doing. And that's what fractions do as well. If I have 1/2 times 1/3, I've got 1/2 of 1/3. And so what that looks like is I'm going to start with 1/3 here, and I want to know what half of it is. Not half of the whole, but half of 1/3, which means I need to divide 1/3 into 2 pieces so that I can see, or something that I can cut into 2 pieces, so that I can see what half of 1/3 is. And so the nice thing here is that you can start renaming your fractions, and you can go, all the way or up. But I'm actually good right here because now I've got my 1/3. I've not done anything but rename it, and I've got it in 2 pieces. And so I can see that 1/2 of 1/3 is 1/6. Okay, I've got 1/6. And so I'm able to just simply multiply that 2 times 3 together, and that's what can get me my 6th. And I just have one piece of it, and so that's where the 1 comes from. All right, so we're left with 1/6. Let me show you another example. Just leave that 1/6 up there. All right, 3/4 times 2/5. So I'm taking 3/4 or 3/4 of 2/5. So I'm going to model my 2/5, get my 5th, and I need 2 of them. And right now this is cut into 2. I need it cut into 4 because I need to take 3 of the 4 pieces. And so I'm going to start renaming. And I'm already there. So I only had to rename once. And I've got that original 2/5 cut into 4 pieces. And so now I can take 3 of those pieces. Okay, 3 of those pieces of the 4. And this is what I'm left with. This is 3/4 of 2/5. So if I put this back, I'd be back at 2/5. But I wanted 3/4 of that. So I'm going to delete that just to be left with this, and you can see that this is 3/10 because I've got 3 pieces and my fraction has been cut into tenths. So I'm going to write that. All right, so it seems so simple, but multiplying is not always that simple. Sometimes you don't immediately cut into those 4ths, or in the other case, halves. So sometimes you have to manipulate a little bit more. Let's think of this if we were to do it the other way, because multiplication is commutative. So just like I did 3/4 of the 2/5, I can also do 2/5 of the 3/4. So let's look at that. So let me pull my 4ths and get 3 of them. So this is 3/4, and I want to know what 2/5 of it is. In order to do that, I've got to get this fraction cut into 5ths. However, when I start splitting them, when I start renaming them, like this is cut into, I got into 6 pieces, and I'm already into 6 pieces, and I really need 5 pieces. So if I continue to cut, I'm never going to get to 5 pieces. However, I might get into something that is divisible by 5. And so I'm just going to keep on cutting it And here we get into 20ths, and 20ths are divisible by 5. And so if I wanted to take 2/5 of this, I could because of that divisibility. And each of these is actually, like if you look right here, because of we can cut them into fifths, and there's 3 in each one. So I'm going to kind of show you that, pull them apart. Here are the fifths. Okay, and so there you see those 5 pieces. Now that 3/4 has been cut into, or excuse me, has been cut into these fifths, and I can take 2 of them. So now I can take 2 and merge them together. I'm going to delete everything else so that they're not in my way. This is 2 of the fifths. All right, and then I can rename this back down into the 3/10. And so that was, another example of what you might encounter with multiplication. It might not always be like, oh, there's fourths, or oh, there's halves, but you might be able to keep on cutting it into something that's divisible by 5 or divisible by 2. And then you can grab out however many that was. Now, the rules of multiplication are that you multiply straight across, okay? And so 1 times 1 is 1, 2 times 3 is 6. That's where that 1/6 comes from. And then you have the other one, 3 times 2 is 6, 4 times 5 is 20. And that's what we had originally, is that 6/20ths when we were there. Okay, that's that 6/20ths, which of course reduces down to the 3/10. You can also do some, I'm not going to get into all the Y's in this video, maybe in another one, but you can also see that this kind of cross canceling, if you've ever heard of that, because 2 and 4 have a common multiple. We could actually take that and see it as 2/4 and reduce that fraction to 1/2. And that's where you can see why that 3/10 comes out immediately sometimes as well, just depending on how you're looking at it. Well, I hope this was helpful for multiplication, and that you can play around with, some different problems in the Mathagon Polypad site and explore visually what those are. Thank you very much.